Welcome to episode 30 of Venti Questions. This is a show with friends, coffee, and conversation. My name's Michael.
And I'm Chris, and today we're talking about fast food. You'll find the location on every corner, selling sandwiches, burgers, or even Chinese food. Where did the idea originate, and then where is it going in the future?
Well, definitely stay tuned to the end to be able to hear what our opinions are on the subject. Yep.
What's new with you?
I'm excited for a video game.
Oh, okay.
I know, I haven't said anything about a video game in a while,
Yeah.
right? Here's the funny part. The last game that I talked about was technically in like the same quasi-universe.
Mm-hmm.
So if you remember correctly, for those of you who are longtime fans, I was very excited for the Immortal Empires expansion for Creative Assembly's Total War Warhammer.
That's a mouthful. Sure.
Sorry, that's just I didn't name it. Okay, but Creative Assembly is about to release Blood Bowl 3,
Okay.
and that comes out in like about a week. Well, it comes out in like a week and a half, but for me, because I'm the person that is willing to spend extra money, I'll get it a couple of days early. Haha. Special editions, early access.
There you go.
But I'm pretty excited for that. So that's gonna be pretty fun. It's also gonna help out a little bit with like me and Jonathan's side project with the whole Blood Bowl stuff and anything like that. 'Cause it's gonna be another way for us to be able to communicate with it a little bit better. So, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm very interested in how the game is going to be presented, as far as like it's going down the route of a lot of newer games where there's like a season pass to it.
Okay.
This one, it doesn't seem like it's too predatory, but you know, microtransactions, who knows?
Sure.
The way it's supposed to work is that it's going to be like a flat fee for each season pass that will last for 3 months. That will have a series of things you unlock as you progress in the game itself, same as anything else. But the nice thing about it is that with each one of those, a new team will be released of one of like the different races. And if you pay for the season pass, you get access to that team right away.
Okay.
And then you're unlocking, like I said, a bunch of other like little trivial stuffs.
And can you buy stuff along the way as well, like upgrades or extras for anything? Like early, like aside from doing the season pass, like are there other upcharges, I guess, that they try to throw in there for you to?
Nothing that is mechanically. I mean, cosmetics, yeah, sure, of course.
Cosmetic, okay, yeah.
I can only imagine that they would. Which, don't get me wrong, they give me good stuff for my Skavens, my dude. I'm throwing the whole bank account at them. But as far as like the actual, there's no pay to win. Let me put it that way.
Yeah,
in any regard to it.
No. Just
Well, you'd be surprised nowadays. Almost everything's pay to win. You're out of the game, my man. Nowadays, if you're playing a first-person shooter, they'll have special guns that are more powerful than any other gun. You just got to pay $29.99.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you don't want to have to worry about leveling up all these 20 things to the max level to be able to unlock this special thing? Oh, yeah, cool. It's $10. Oh, cool. Here you go. It makes you twice as strong as anyone else. It's microtransactions are the way of the current and foreseeable future.
Fun.
People don't want to pay to play a game anymore. That's what it really comes down to. So many things become free to play.
Right.
And then the microtransactions the heck out of them, because the average person ends up spending like $20 a month in microtransactions instead of the original like subscription fee of like 15.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Ridiculous.
Though. Smart.
Yeah. So, but anyway, that comes out pretty soon. I'm pretty excited for that. It'll definitely be something to kind of like play around with when I'm doing other stuff, because since it is turn based, I'll probably be able to throw some of that in with my editing as well.
Nice.
So I'm not just playing Teamfight Tactics.
You're the game guy, you know?
I mean, yeah, not really that much anymore. I'm too lazy, but I got too many other things I got to edit. But what about you? What's new with you?
What's new with me? Just reading still. I finished the second book in the Red Rising series, which is called Golden Sun. That was basically foot on the accelerator the whole way through. There's not many books that read just that fast paced, that just like in your face. There's it just the way it progressed, the way the characters, you know, I don't want to say too much, because if you do decide to get into it, you know, I don't want to ruin it, but the way the characters unfold, how you discover who's who and what's what. But yeah, just action throughout most of it. It's either action or strategy or political intrigue or combination of all that on top of the character trying to navigate their way through, you know, the world they're basically trying to tear down, which is interesting. And how this character is progressing. Darrow, the main character, is progressing from, you know, hating the person who he has to be now, to fit in and to kind of assimilate. And then the level of pride and arrogance that he has playing that part and being that character, because that's how he views the Golds, which is this part of the society he's emulating and infiltrating. And like, that's his downfall, is he's taking on the traits of them that it gets to his head. And then there's some blind spots there, and the book ends in a very Game of Thrones Red Wedding type sequence where you're like, oh. And then I'm on the third book now of the trilogy, which then there's another trilogy for that's being hopefully completed soon. But that the third book starts with like, there's like no hope.
Like the repercussions of this crazy event.
What happened, and it comes right off the heels of that, of like, and kind of where he is and whatnot, and you're trying to figure out how he's gonna now pretty much literally dig himself out of this hole, and how, like, how's he gonna build back and get any type of clout or, you know, get reputation back. Like, you just don't know where it's gonna go at this point. But from what I hear is there's a very good resolution to this third book in the trilogy, where it, you know, the beginning part of the book will it'll be kind of down, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is dark for, you know, probably the first third of it, and then the rest of the book, you know, it's his ascension, I'd assume, and then where he ends up, at least for now, in the 3-book trilogy as it originally was.
The original trilogy.
Yeah. So, but it's good. It's definitely worth it. I had to actually stop reading for a couple days just because I was like, dude, like, I just got punched like in the face, stomach, you know, jaw. Like, I'm just like, I'm feeling down for the count. I need a mental recovery from what I just went through with this book. It's like trauma, essentially. It's interesting.
It's something although I haven't read this particular book, that is something that is so relatable, because I've been there, and right now, I even talked about this book on here. The one that I talked about that was the gods.
Oh yeah,
Odin and all that. I haven't been able to go back yet.
Right. You need a mental break.
It bitch slapped me across the face, and I'm just like, ow.
Right.
Like, I'm still
hurt.
And the funny part is that book I was reading in place of the third book in a different series that I had rushed through the first 2, and I was like, you know, 7 or 8 chapters into like the third book, and I was just like, okay, too much.
Yeah.
Because like there was like a story development where you're like, really?
Right.
Come on, dude. It's been through so much. And then I start a new book to kind of give myself a break, and it does the stabs again. So, yeah, I feel you. It's good writing does that.
Yeah. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish this third one, obviously, and then I'm going to take a break. I'm not going to jump into like
before you do the next trilogy.
The next one is a huge book,
right?
In comparison to the other ones. And from what I heard just today, I was talking about it with someone, and they told me like, oh yeah, you think that like there's literally no hope in that next book. I'm like, oh, and it's about twice the size of the other ones.
Right.
Let me go ahead and just give myself a break. I'm going to jump into another book series while I do that, just to kind of
maybe try to find like a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
Lighter.
You'll probably go back to like a Sanderson book or something like that, because it's like he plays with both right that way. So character development there.
He's trying to make an uplifting world, a better world,
right,
than what's current in the thing.
Yeah, more hope.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that. Like I said, sometimes you have to go away from the ones that are like they're constantly in the shit.
Yeah.
Versus the ones where it's like, oh, this one actually has a couple really cute, subplots that are kind of cool. And
right.
Like, all right, it's kind of like, oh yeah, I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need those ones.
I've got a book that's just one shot, just one book, and then like here's a story beginning to end. I mentioned before, it's a Stephen King book. It's called Fairy Tale, that I just happened to pick up a physical copy of hardcover, and I think I'm just going to read that because I don't think it's going to go into I don't think it's a series. It's just going to be a one shot. I can do that, cleanse the palate, and then jump into another series.
And you know it won't be too in depth, being that it's not this big and it's a singular entity.
Right.
No,
right. I think it's only like 700 and maybe something pages, or maybe 6.
There was one series that I did end up reading, and it's like super corny. It was like, I think the first one was free on Audible. That's how it got me hooked. But like, it was like a 4-book series, but in total it was like 29 hours.
Yeah.
Which is like a normal book.
Sure. Yeah.
So it was, I understand. Sometimes you need one of those where you're just like, all right, whatever. Let me just knock this little one out.
Right.
It'll be a beginning, middle, and end.
That's it.
Easy.
Because sometimes you just, you don't want to deal with, are they going to continue to want to write these? And then I got to like buy the other one to like, and figure out where the characters went in that story. It's like, no, just give me the story and then end it. And then I'm cool.
Well, and if they're a good writer and they're doing what they're, in my opinion, supposed to be doing, it can be emotionally draining because they're pulling you in to feel the empathies of these different characters.
Right.
And a lot of times I think that we do share this in our fantasy, like in our fantasy style, is that we like the struggling main character. Sure. We like the main character that has had everything stripped away from him and now has to figure out how to fix the world.
Right. Overcoming adversity and in that sense, or didn't have hope to start with and then built it and then became something, right? One or the other, It's
either we get John Wick,
right,
or we get the prequel of how John Wick became John Wick. That's what we like.
Right.
Exactly. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
No, I get that. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, that's that.
All right. So beans that are subject for today is on fast food. We're going to completely and totally pause from where I was going to go because I forgot to talk about the coffee.
The coffee.
So we currently are not drinking the coffee for tonight, which actually is a shame. And I do not say that sarcastically this time. It's just that recording schedule, whamity, flamity, annoyance, it wasn't possible right this second. But as you can see right here, we had the Roundup roast. I remembered it. Thank you. From Expedition Roasters.
Mm-hmm.
It is probably the best coffee we've had, except for maybe like the first or second one that we had in the very first segment, like episode.
Yeah. It's definitely the best
flavored coffee.
Yeah.
Hands down. It had a total, I think our score, what was it, an 86 with cream and sugar?
Yep.
And black, it was also really good.
Yeah.
It just had a couple little things that obviously it was the flavor balance was made for cream and sugar.
Yeah.
But overall, just a delightful roast.
Yep.
Like I said, it is from Expedition Roasters, which we have tried one of theirs before. The beans from outer space, which wasn't as good as it was hopefully going to be. If you don't say space 3 times, like, you're weird. I'm sorry. There has to be like the echo effect. Don't look at me weird.
No.
This particular one does come pre-ground, unfortunately for us. Typically, we like to grind it ourselves. But hey, it saved us 5 minutes, and it was still nice and fresh. It's supposed to stay fresh for another like 7 months. So it's pretty cool. It is a s'mores flavored coffee.
Good.
And it not only is it like good, just in general, but it tastes like freaking s'mores.
Yeah.
And that's the most crazy part for us, was that we've had some decent coffees, but the flavored ones have never tasted like
they always smell like you think, oh, this is going to be great, because you smell it like, oh yeah, I could definitely sense those notes of whatever, dark chocolate or this or that.
I can smell the cinnamon,
right? The cocoa, but it's
so accurate.
But then when you rebrew it, it's just like, oh, this is just bitter water.
Yeah.
Dishwater, it's typically not great. The acidity profile, everything's off. This, when you smell it, it smells like it. And then you brew it, it smells like s'mores.
It does. And it's like not overbearing.
Yeah.
But enough where it makes you kind of go like, I could probably go for a real s'mores right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It does do the whole, if I'm drinking this next to a campfire, it's right.
Oh gosh, if we could have been like outside with how chilly it was, with like one of those big like fire pits.
Sure.
Oh, that would have been
perfect.
Maybe like a black and mild. Oh yeah.
Oh man. Wow.
That'd be nice.
Bringing back days of youth.
Oh, just sitting around talking about books we like to read.
Wow.
Maybe with a little like scarf and a little jacket.
Wow.
Maybe a fedora.
Wow. I don't know what you're doing.
I'm painting a scene, Christopher.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it was delicious. It really was. This is by far the best coffee we've had in any time recently, and it will be one that we actually do make another pot, not just for reviewing.
Yeah.
Like this one, I'm planning on having some more. You know what I mean?
Whatever the chemicals they use to emulate the flavor profile, it's fantastic. They did it.
Yeah. So,
speaking of chemicals used.
Speaking of chemicals, now let's go on over to our fun little game for today on fast food.
Yeah.
Transitions.
Like that?
That was actually really good. I'm really proud of you. So we're basically just trying to ask the simple questions when it comes to fast food, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first one I have for you, where is the best burger going to come from a fast food restaurant for you?
Opinion based. Okay.
Everything we talk about is opinion based.
Of course it is. We have to say that so people don't lose their minds whenever they hear it.
Screw 'em.
For me?
Yeah.
It will be Burger King. The Whopper.
Burger King.
Whopper does it for me.
Okay.
If we're talking like, those stereotypical fast food.
Yeah. Absolutely. We're not counting like we're grilling it out back. That wins hands down for a real burger.
Yeah. Or like a restaurant you stop into and like get it to go. Like, no, that's not what I'm talking about either. But
oh gosh,
because you have all these like I'm not even talking about like the Five Guys and the Burger Fi or all that. It is quick service.
BurgerFi is overrated. Food. I'm sorry. BurgerFi is so overrated.
Oh yeah.
Shake Shack is legit.
Right.
That was one that actually surprised me of how good it was, but it has the same problem as Five Guys. You have to take a loan out to be able to get anything more than just like a burger and fries.
Right. I would guess yours is, and I'm going to be wrong here, but I just want to give it a crack. I think Steak and Shake would be up there for you.
It actually is up there.
Yeah.
But for the shocker of all shockers, my absolute favorite burger. Okay. Can I give like a slight tie situation?
Okay. Sure.
There's my favorite burger, and then there's my favorite burger in Florida.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So my absolute favorite burger is an ultimate cheeseburger from Jack in the Box.
Okay.
I'm not even going to go with In-N-Out. In-N-Out burgers are delicious, but I think that I haven't had one in so long that I can't even say that anymore.
Right.
It's been like 20 something years. But an ultimate cheeseburger from Jack in the Box is the best. It's two burger patties, 3 slices of cheese, and each slice of cheese is a different type. And it is just amazing. And at least the way it used to be back in the day is Jack in the Box's entire menu is available 24 hours a day. So if it is 7:30 in the morning and you want an ultimate cheeseburger, you get a freaking ultimate cheeseburger.
Where can I find this place, Michael?
About 8 miles east of Houston on I-10. That is the closest one to us.
So that doesn't count right now. So
Exactly.
you're going to have to come up with something else.
Florida one is a Whopper.
Okay.
A triple Whopper with extra cheese, lettuce, because their lettuce rocks,
Yeah.
and pickle.
Yeah. I do it as it comes. I just like everything on, like the
Which is
onion and all
fair.
that stuff. And
I can get that. And they actually have surprisingly really nice tomato slices.
yeah, their
I
condiments
don't
are
like
good.
tomatoes,
Yeah, all that.
but their stuff is really good.
If you're going to order a burger as is and not alter it, right? Because you have some alterations you do.
I don't like sauce.
I think the Whoppers are probably the best burger because it reminds me of like something you throw together
Yes.
at a barbecue that you would put on it for yourself.
Now, I know that we're sticking on this particular question a little bit longer, but I do want to prefix the reason that I probably only have a Whopper maybe once or twice a year, though, is because Burger King probably has some of the absolute worst service
Yeah.
in all of fast foodism.
Yeah.
That I'm
with you.
I don't have the health to be able to deal with that high of blood pressure more than once every 6 months.
Yeah.
And my last time was about a month ago. And it was delicious, but I wanted to stab at least 3 separate people. I had to have them make the burger 4 times, Chris.
Yeah.
4 times.
Yeah. But you're particular when it comes to the way you order stuff. So it's
Only
not right.
cheese, lettuce, and pickle.
I know, but when they're used to just throwing together the same ingredients on that burger and their skill set isn't, once
You defend these imbeciles, go for it.
once the AI takes over and the machines make it all, we'll be good. Because you just program what you want and then it'll put it on there for you. And
It was one of the worst experiences I've had in so long.
Yeah.
But anywho, all right, I was surprised. I didn't think you were going to say the same as me. But yeah, Steak and Shake is a really good burger too. It's just that there's no like weight to them because they're like they're wafers.
Well, you get like the triple.
A
meat
triple is the equivalent of a regular Whopper patty.
thing. Right. Correct.
So if
That's the other thing. Size of burger.
Now,
Yeah.
when you're drunk, give me a 7x7 off the secret menu from Steak and Shake. Oh yeah, that's
There you go.
delicious. All right, best taco.
It's tough for me. Like at a fast food place,
At a fast food place.
what are the options?
Technically,
Right,
there's
like-
2 major ones. And then you have like the cheating third option, which is a food truck.
Well, that'd be my
That is the best taco. Let's just be real.
that'd be
But
my go-to.
I guess let's make it more the 2 main ones, which is going to be technically 3:
Okay. Which are
Taco Bell,
okay.
Del Taco,
Okay.
technically Hardee's,
No,
because Hardee's sells tacos because they have Red Taco as one of their brands.
it's nice.
Because remember, Hardee's is Carl's Jr.,
Yeah,
Hardee's, and Red Taco.
I would never think to go to a Hardee's for a taco, but
I had one there because I wanted to try one day. And it's not bad.
okay. I don't order tacos usually. Where
Get burritos or chalupas or something.
burritos. If I'm gonna get a taco, best quick taco is going to be Publix. Publix, they do like this awesome pre-made bin that has all the ingredients and stuff, and then you can just bake it. But the soft, they're soft tacos.
Like a buffet type style thing?
No. It's all in it's like in a tray. They have the little containers that have like the sliced tomatoes. They have a container that has like,
Really?
oh yeah, it's a whole taco kit.
Next time we go, you gotta show it to me.
Yeah.
That actually sounds interesting. I wouldn't mind
You
it.
can technically it could be like burrito kit, but
Yeah,
to
but-
make soft tacos, it's
Yeah,
the
I get it.
same thing. If you want to make it that way.
Meat, cheese, tortilla.
Right. Yes. And it has like a lettuce, tomato, has the sauce if you want the sauce, the cheese sauce, the
That's
salsa,
interesting.
all that stuff. Yeah.
That's really cool. Okay. That's fair. Like I said, any taco truck is going to be better.
Yeah.
Then
That'd be my first, but then if I were to go for a quick grab, yeah.
Yeah. But if I had to go for one, like the typical ones, even though I think Del Taco tastes better, I'd still prefer Taco Bell.
Yeah.
I grew up on it more.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's not what a taco tastes like, but if I want a Taco Bell taco, that's what I want.
Sure.
And I don't crave any other types of.
I just don't order tacos from Taco Bell. I order burrito.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, this is not fast food, but like if I really want tacos, I make tacos.
Yes. Right. That's it. You buy the stuff and you make it.
And I don't like corn tortillas that much, so I usually get like the really small, like street style tortillas that are just flour version.
Yeah.
And then make my meats.
There you go.
There you go. Best fries.
This might surprise you. Only under certain circumstances. Burger King fries, hot, fresh, are the best to me. They are fantastic. They are crunchy on the outside if they're done right, and fluffy on the inside, and hot. And they're really good because they're thick, and yeah, they're good. Yeah.
That one actually does surprise me.
Yeah.
They're not the worst fries to me, but they're not even like the top 4 or 5 fries.
If they're not hot and just made,
I'll give you that. I understand.
I can't eat them.
Yeah.
They're disgusting at that point.
Full disclosure, we had some McDonald's today.
We sure did. In the spirit of
this.
We had to.
And there was a situation where there was a large fry that was uneaten. And I was unaware of this until after it had become, I wouldn't even say cold. I would say almost cold.
Room temperature.
Room temp. And I tried to, take the down soldier and, make sure we got rid of it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
McDonald's fries is another one. It has a half-life.
It does.
Okay, so here's my thing. Number one fry, 100% of anything in this state, Steak and Shake. They have the best fries.
Okay.
That being said, if I wanted a seasoned fry, because there is a difference.
Yeah, sure.
Arby's has the best curly fries.
Okay, I can understand that.
And fun fact, and this is something I just found out like less than 3 weeks ago. You can buy at Walmart in the frozen food section Arby's curly fries. And you're like, oh, okay, cool, whatever, right? They taste exactly like they do when you go to Arby's.
That's good.
And I know that it's supposed to be like, well, that's the whole point, but nothing branded like that ever actually tastes the same, Dude, like delicious.
Okay.
Couldn't believe it.
Interesting.
Have gotten like 4 different bags at this point.
Really?
Me and the kid love them.
Huh.
Yeah. If I've mentioned this in the past, if Arby's had a freaking app where I could order food, I would go to Arby's maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
Interesting.
I like beef sandwiches.
Yeah, but it's not even real meat. Doesn't taste like real. I don't know. I just don't like it.
It's real meat. It's just not high quality meat.
Right.
Yeah. And it's not hand sliced.
Correct.
Remember Daniel's son worked there?
Yeah.
It says they come in little like plastic tubs.
things. Yeah.
It's so gross.
That is gross.
Oh, it is what it is.
Yeah. How about Chick-fil-A fries? What do you think about those? Oh, those fries. Those are.
Okay. First off, they are like the thinnest connection to fries.
Yeah.
They should be called like.
They're waffle fries, what they are.
Waffle fries should be considered patty fries or something.
Sure.
Like they're closer to hash browns than they are fries almost.
Okay.
That being said, if they're hot
Same
and they're extremely salty,
yes,
I'm down.
Right.
If you don't have the right salt to freaking potato, not even fry, potato ratio,
yeah,
get lost.
Yeah, exactly.
But there again, I don't like sauce.
If you have them with the Polynesian sauce,
which I know everybody and their mom would kill the closest rabbi for it.
Yeah.
But
you're not a sauce person.
I'm not. It smells really good.
It's the only fry that I would want to eat with sauce is the Chick-fil-A waffle fry things.
I have tried it.
Yeah.
I didn't do a little like, I did a thump thump. and I was
did you
like,
try it on the fry.
I didn't try it on the fry. I just tried the sauce itself. It was a little too. It was too much for me. It was too rich.
The fry
I might
tones it down.
And if it was a really salty fry, maybe.
Yes.
I'll give it a shot. I will. Because here's the thing. You got to try things at least like once every 5 years because your palate changes, man.
It's true.
Okay. Best milkshake.
Ooh, milkshake.
Now, I'm going to offer an option in here just because I don't think we would normally think of it as a fast food place. But because it's for milkshake, remember, Twisty Treat does count.
That's mine. I was going to say that.
Okay, cool.
I had one recently.
I just wanted to make sure that counts. That counts.
It's Twisty Treat for me. But do you consider Culver's like the custards, like milkshake? Like
Culver's?
Culver's.
I don't know what a Culver's is.
What?
I'm so sorry. I really don't. I don't think I've ever heard of Culver's.
He doesn't know what a Culver's is.
I'm from the West Coast.
I mean,
I've lived here for like 25 years, but I'm from the West Coast, so.
No, you've been here.
No?
You've been here. You can't get away with that.
I honestly
I'm going to laugh as like from the West Coast.
Oh, it's so funny. It's like, oh, they're actually from Southern California.
Well, that will be something that we will do.
I literally
There's one right here in Ocoee.
Is it a sit down or is it like a fast food place? There's a drive-thru.
It's not even that fast. That's the problem with it. There's drive-thru.
But
they tell you to pull ahead and then you wait and then they bring it up because it's all made to order and it's all fresh. Yeah.
Total like sidebar here. Legitimate. Where is it? Because I don't even know what like the sign looks like.
Right across from the Publix where we used to live. In Ocoee.
Are you serious?
No, I'm sorry. Winter Garden. That's my fault. Winter Garden.
No, I knew what you meant. Yeah,
Yeah.
about like the cross street from the one, the Flying Pie.
Yeah. It's right in that area.
Right over there. Legitimately cannot.
It's at the left-hand side if you're
I didn't know there was a DQ out there now across the street from Captain D's. I saw it when we were trying to figure out what we were going to eat together later.
Yeah.
Or earlier, rather.
It's a little further up than that.
That is
on
crazy.
The left-hand
Sorry, I got totally off track.
Yeah.
On that because I seriously, like, it's not even like, oh, now I know what you're talking about. I have no idea what
We'll give it a shot. That'll be a thing we do.
We'll try to do it next week or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so yours is
Twisted Treat.
What is your go-to milkshake?
I like the Snickers. They have a Snickers milkshake. It's really good. Or I'll do a strawberry.
Is it fresh strawberries? Or is it strawberry like is there chunks?
Yeah, there's chunks. Yeah.
I'm usually not a strawberry fan. Ice cream in general. Mm-hmm. But if it's like the ice cream
Vanilla
that has the frozen
cream
chunks in it.
With the strawberries blended in or something like that.
Good.
Yeah.
I can't. Because I
don't remember how I haven't had one of those from there for a while. So I don't know if that's how they do it anymore. But I just do like the Snickers one because I like all the chunky Snickers parts that you have to kind of like eat out of the bottom of it at the end.
Like crushing it with that industrial size straw.
With the ice cream, for some reason, it seeps into it. It's just
sounds so good.
Yeah.
It's a toss up right now. I'm trying to be true to myself here, and I think it's Twisty Treat. But my milkshake of choice is a Oreo.
Got it. And they make that pretty much everywhere.
They do. Well, not nowadays they do. Because back in the day, you had to just get a cookies and cream.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Because Oreo, nobody could
couldn't
afford
say
it.
the name.
Yeah. It was so dumb. But yeah, I think it's Twisty Treat. The only one that's even close is Steak and Shake. Because theirs is really good, but I've never been given a stupid thing of whipped cream and a cherry at Twisty Treat because I always say, hey, please, none of that. Right. And they're like, sure, no problem. And they're super nice and they always get it to me right away. And you can get a giant size because I'm a giant and it's delicious. And I really want one now, but they're closed. And Steak and Shake 50% of the time screws up my junk. So yeah, we're going to go with Twisty Treat.
Okay. Look at that.
Did you know that I did not know up until, I don't know, the last like 2 or 3 years that Steak and Shake was a train? No, sorry, that Twisty Treat was a train.
Chain.
Yeah.
It's not a train.
It's not a train. I looked it up. It's not. But yeah, I did not realize that.
You just happen to drive down 50 and see another one. You're like, wait a minute.
No, on 192.
That's funny.
So I was way out.
There is one out there. You're right. Yeah.
There's 3 out there.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 on 27.
Yeah.
There's like a decent amount of these little guys,
and
man.
It's smart because of the size of the place, the walk up window. Like
it's almost always employed purely by high schoolers.
Yeah.
And which is great because then their friends come by and they sell more. And just, yeah, no, it's a good little racketeering job they got going on.
It is. Good little business.
we gotta get into that.
Yeah.
So the last question I got for you is more of a wish fulfillment question.
Okay.
What is the one place you wish had a drive-thru that currently doesn't, obviously?
Oh, the fact that you said that, and I thought of something today earlier.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know they're experimenting with this, and I think they have it some places, but Chipotle was one of them.
I want to say that like 6 months ago or something like that, you told me about that experimental thought process.
Yes.
And I just went like,
yeah. Right. Because Subway does now.
Subway had it, and that's what I was right about to say. When I was working over by off of Holden, that was the first time I ever saw a Subway drive-thru, and I was shocked.
Yeah, they're retrofitting a lot of these businesses like Starbucks. You know, they're converting a lot of the stores that didn't have them into. They're trying to make it work where they have it now, because there was a bunch of them that didn't have drive-thrus at one point.
Yeah,
like some of those original, like the older,
Yeah, like the one over there by Lazy Boy.
Yeah,
that one doesn't have one.
Yep. And so they're kind of converting. So that's mostly what's going to happen. I was thinking, but it doesn't fit because it's not the type of restaurant, but like more of like the
Fantasy World. Go for it, man.
Like Tijuana Flats or like something like that, where you're getting a better quality
meal,
right?
And they're as close as you can get without having one, because you can get them like their order to go and type stuff.
Right.
And they have a great app, by the way.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, legitimately, because there's one over by my house, and there was a good 6 month period where I think I went like twice or 3 times a week, and because I got really into their steak nachos. Oh, delicious.
Payway would maybe be another one for me. I really like their pad thai, and that's all I get.
I've only been to Payway
like
2 or 3 times, and I've loved it every time. I've gotten something different every time. And I agree with you. If they had a drive-thru, I would. Well, if they also just had one on this side of town, then I would go a lot more often.
Probably wouldn't be as good.
There is one on this side of town. I'm dummy. It's over there. That's still not my side of town, though.
Near the Panda.
Oh, God. I hate Panda Express. It's the most disgusting food ever.
Yeah.
The kid and my mom love that place.
Yeah, I know people that really like it.
Like, it's literally in their like top 5.
Right.
And I'm just like, what is wrong with you?
How about you? Anything?
Yeah. The first one that goes to mind, which is crazy, and I'm fully aware of this, Publix for pub subs.
So they were going to do a whole, like, just like they have Publix liquors, but not in Publix. They need to have
a Publix deli separate.
They were going to do Publix subs or pub subs, I think they were going to do. And they were going to have like a next to Publix, and they were going to do a thing. And it was just like a little restaurant like Subway, but like Publix stuff.
It would work.
It would. I don't know what happened with that, because I was hearing about that from somewhere. And then I don't know if they piloted it or tried it out, wasn't successful, or just didn't want to scale it, or didn't want to bring it to their current stores.
Yeah, it might be something like they might do in the future, some new footprints or things like that.
Because that's my favorite sub. I love, you know what? Jersey Mike's. That would be a great drive-thru.
Jersey Mike's had a drive-thru,
that's it. Game over.
Their app is fantastic.
I love their app.
It is so great. See, here's the thing.
Free thing too. Like, the points.
They know how to bribe you.
Yeah.
Because they're a little pricey, but that's how they get you. Because they're so pricey, they can justify giving you like almost half of a freaking sub every other sub you buy.
And do you do it Mike's way? You don't like all the stuff Mike's way? What do you mean? No. Don't look at me like that. That's how they come until you tell them not to do it.
Oh, I didn't know that's what it was called.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Oil, vinegar, all the stuff. Oh my gosh, there's something wrong with you.
You put oil and
Jersey
vinegar.
Mike's.
You get oil and vinegar on a Philly cheesesteak?
No. You're getting a hot sub.
Then maybe you should ask what kind of sub I get at Jersey Mike's before you start yelling at me.
Well,
I don't get cold subs at Jersey Mike's. If I'm going to Jersey Mike's, I'm getting a Philly cheese.
Okay.
If I want a cold sub, I go to Publix.
You get a Philly cheese there too.
It doesn't taste as good though. Have you ever had one of their Philly cheeses?
Publix? No.
Yeah, it's probably one of the only subs at Publix that I think is kind of like.
Yeah, the only hot sub I get from Publix,
Like I'd rather get it
would
at
be
a
a chicken
Quiznos.
tender. Chicken tender is the only hot sub I get from Publix.
I've had some other ones,
Buffalo sauce.
but yeah, the buffalo sauce is delicious.
Yeah.
I know I don't like sauce, but it's different with chicken like that. Like it has to be tossed first. You can't like if they're just gonna pour it on top. Then I don't want it.
Yeah.
You got to toss it.
Toss it.
All right. Well, that was fun. I actually enjoyed that. That was actually insightful. I did not realize that we both were such Burger King stans,
Yeah, it's interesting.
and yet we didn't choose frickin' Burger King to go eat at tonight. I would have been 100% down.
I said Burger King as an example. I said we.
As an example, yeah,
Right.
I said Hardee's as an example too.
Yeah. I think Burger King. I was a late adopter with Burger King. I didn't start going there until much later in life.
As a child, my family is more of a Burger King child, more of a Burger King family than McDonald's family,
I was the other way around.
which is funny because my brother was in a McDonald's commercial. So was my sister, actually. Now that I think about it. Forgot they were both in it.
Wow.
I wasn't alive. I wasn't in it. That's how it works. Some people get all the luck. Okay, the reason why that's funny is because my brother's in a wheelchair.
I didn't want to say it. But
Well, I had to explain it at that point. And that's the only
Thanks,
reason why.
McDonald's.
Because he was the state poster child for like 7 years. So he was in a lot of stuff. So anyway, that's beside the point. Sorry, I had to explain that one because otherwise you were just going to make me laugh from laughing at my
Sorry.
joke. All right, so let's move on real quick. Now you understand why I'm switching.
McDonald's causes wheelchair.
When Ronald says stop, you better stop.
Stop.
He will get the Hamburglar to beat the shit out of you. I don't want to talk about
Does
what
it
Grimace
exist
does.
anymore?
They don't. None of them do, man. Just Ronald.
Yeah.
And even then, very, very rarely. They don't use him in almost any of their publications.
Yeah.
The Ronald McDonald House is pretty much the closest thing, which
Yeah.
I won't even make fun of that because it's the most amazing.
Oh yeah. It's good.
Anyway, so the first thing I wanted to talk about was fast food was like the origins, because we looked it up.
Yeah.
And I was completely unaware. You had the location.
Yes. I didn't know what state it existed in.
Well,
But,
I don't. Did you know the time frame either? Because that one really shocked me too.
Well, let's tell everyone.
So, okay, Chris. After school special over here.
I'm just saying.
So White Castle is considered to be the first fast food restaurant because of their the assembly line.
Yeah.
That's okay. A method of their preparing.
Pairing the food. Yeah.
And it was in 1921, which is insane.
Yeah.
Because obviously I knew that McDonald's, which is what I thought it was, by the way, was in the 40s somewhere.
They just have a monopoly on like branding,
No, absolutely.
marketing, advertising. Everyone thinks it's them.
I hadn't even heard of White Castle until
Harold and Kumar.
a couple of years before that, because I'd had it before frozen. I've still never had one in real life.
So that's another example of
need to go.
if you make it right, it tastes almost the same.
Here's the other thing, though. I will embarrass you when we go, because I'll ask for no onions.
I hate you.
I know.
You can't do that there.
Yeah, you can.
I know you can.
I know. It's not classic, but I don't like the texture of onions. I will try one with onions.
Try one and then
Well, of course.
the rest don't.
Am I allowed to ask for cheese? Or is that sacrilegious too? I don't know.
Yeah, no, some of them come with
I
cheese.
know that
You can do cheese.
You can.
Yeah,
It's on the menu, but so is no onion.
No onion's not on the menu. You just have to remove that.
This is how I'll say it. They come frozen with or without onions.
Got it.
So I feel like if they make a product version of it without onions, it's probably on the menu without it.
All right.
Anywho, Wichita, Kansas
Yeah.
was the first location,
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
which once again, somebody who's from the West Coast, I had never even heard of White Castle until I was here. And I had thought of it always as being like a New York based like invasion that came south and a little bit west.
Sure.
I did not know they started off in the homeland of the Superman.
I used to go to a White Castle up in New York, I believe it was, and I thought, like, I was told it was like the oldest location and this and that. Probably lies. Probably
Maybe it was
all
the oldest
lies.
location in New York,
Could be. Yeah.
or they could have been saying it's the oldest when they said
Franchise
old-
location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like we have the world's largest McDonald's.
No.
It's right there in the corner of
Yeah.
Sand Lake and
Yeah, International.
Yeah. Just like also, remember the one down the road from there that Biab took us to?
Oh yeah.
The like test kitchen bougie one?
Yeah, the gourmet.
The gourmet. Thank
Right.
you. I couldn't think of the right word. That has like a completely different menu, and it's like legitimately like it looked like the photos.
Yeah.
It was creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know if that one still exists because it was never marked.
I don't know.
It was an unmarked building before.
Yeah, it's weird. I did learn a fun fact about McDonald's that they actually sell birthday cakes. A coworker
What?
tries to get one every year for their birthday because they actually sell birthday cakes. They have them in the freezer. Birthday cakes. Yes. Yeah.
Are they like ice cream cakes?
Yes. Yep, I believe so.
I am so flabbergasted right
Yeah.
now. Like I had never even thought that was a thing.
Cake from McDonald's. I think they are like an ice cream cake, but yeah, birthday cake from McDonald's. Yeah. It's like a cake.
Like a little like personal size
think
cake.
so.
A little like 8 ounce.
I don't know what size. I think they're about that. Yeah. Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
It's
I did
really
not know
tough.
that.
And a lot of the employees don't even know they have it.
Well, I'm
'Cause
sure
this
the people in
person
the
says,
front-
can you check the freezer or can you ask a manager? Because you have to, because people don't know.
Yeah, because
They don't sell them like right.
well, not only that, people on the front end typically have never go into the actual freezer themselves. Only the line people will go back there, so they wouldn't know.
It's just interesting. I didn't know that.
That is so crazy. I did not know that. I remember when Ralphie actually he's taught me 2 things in life that were amazingly important when it came to food. He's the one who taught me about the 7x7
Okay.
over at Steak and Shake,
and
which
Shake, yeah.
for those of you who are uninitiated, it is 7 patties and 7 slices of cheese. And delicious. It's what you get when you're drunk. That's what you get. And then
Or requesting a last meal from
there's actually a show now on YouTube called like Last Meal.
they'd be like A&E.
And
I
it's
would assume it'd be like an A&E show.
no, it's the future. Everything's on YouTube.
Okay.
It's really good. Tom Hanks was on one, and it like the guest like decides what their last meal would be, and then like as they're eating it, they're talking about like life and things like that. It's really interesting. It's really cool.
Is it the really last meal? Like, is that
Yeah, then they shoot him right afterwards.
in prison
Right.
before they?
Well, is Tom Hanks still alive?
Oh, Tom Hanks was the one who was ordering the last meal. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was just hosting it or was on an episode of it.
He was on that episode.
I thought it was like the Green Mile edition or something. And he's
That was a really good recovery.
there. You go.
Anywho, and the other thing he taught me about was I forgot what it's called now, but it's the burrito thing at shiza. Chipotle.
Okay.
It's basically a quesadilla with a burrito in it.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So it's a cheese quesadilla that then they use that to roll the burrito in.
Oh, cool.
It is so
I
good.
haven't heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, none of these things are on the menu.
Cool.
You have to like know it and order it. But like I did not know that was an actual thing.
The speakeasy of fast food.
Of all the people we know, are you surprised that it's Ralphie
not
that
at
knows
all.
this?
I'm not surprised at all.
We don't mean that in a mean way. We love you.
Yeah, he just
Here's
knows.
the weird little Oompa Loompa.
He just knows things.
He knows like the weirdest, most like obscure shit.
Yeah.
But it's always really interesting, and if it's food, it's almost always delicious.
Oh yeah.
He has very good taste in food. His alcohol preferences are not for me; they're for adults, and
Yeah.
I'm not one of them when it comes to drinking. So no, I'm good. But now, as far as fast food itself, right? Obviously, that's where it started back in the 20s, which is insane. That means it started over 100 years ago. I just came to that realization as I'm talking right now.
Wow.
That's crazy. It's an antique to go and eat at a White Castle.
Okay.
It's over 100 years old.
Sure.
Yeah. If they had a license plate,
You could eat an antique. Then.
If you could eat an antique and not die from asbestos, you'd be eating White Castle. But I feel that it is an interesting aspect.
Were there still castles around? Was it actually in a castle? And that's the reason why. Is that? It's so old. It started in a castle.
In Kansas.
In Kansas.
Who knew there was castles in Kansas?
Well, that's where the dragons live. Duh.
I don't even...
That's where they keep the dungeons, too. Come on.
Okay.
You don't know these
That
things?
was too far.
Come on.
That was... Dungeons and Dragons was made by Gary Gygax, who is from the Midwest, but not from Kansas. You were close.
Same thing.
It is not the same thing. He's from like Wisconsin.
I don't know. 20 Degrees of Henry Cavill. He likes...
You should have actually went with Vin Diesel.
I could have done that.
That would have been more accurate.
But Kansas and Superman, Henry Cavill, and
Right. Has still nothing to do with D&D.
his favorite team, but he's a nerd.
Right.
And by proxy,
That has not how that works at all.
Warhammer
Is a completely different type of tabletop game.
is a tabletop game which shares a table, just like
Wow.
what favorite game? Dungeons and Dragons. Gotcha.
So pathetically wrong.
Close the book.
Nothing to do with fast food.
Close the board. The
We're
game's
gonna
over.
roll over. There is no board in Dungeons. Oh my god.
You can roll over because that's what dies do.
What episode of this podcast was it when you explained that you just say things to infuriate me?
It was last one. It was 29.
Oh, it was last week?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is what he's talking about. This is how he makes me die 10 years before I'm supposed to from high blood pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Anywho, fast food. Do you remember?
Do you remember?
I knew it. I knew it as soon as I said it. Oh, God. Do you remember when there was that huge push for a couple of years of like healthy fast food?
Yes, McDonald's was all over that.
They had like, they were always talking about their salads.
Wraps.
The wraps. I remember that. Eat fresh, you know, before we found out about Jared's true appetite.
Yeah, you know, he liked it fresh. Yeah.
Nice and young and fresh.
Young blood.
You know, we're horrible human beings right now.
No,
right?
he's a horrible human being.
Technically, I don't think he ever did anything. I think he just found like, they found
his
computer.
archival.
Yeah, like all of his archives at that time.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, good for him.
What?
No, he got caught. Good for him.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Not good for him. Well,
He lost weight
everyone.
and became more desirable in prison.
I guess so.
Yeah, fun facts. Anywho, but like, I thought that was a very strange time frame.
He's eating fresh now. Sorry.
Do you think that when he first got put into prison,
a $5 foot long? Yes.
right? Like,
I absolutely.
was there a guy
Yes.
who made a foot long joke?
Yeah, except not for $5 for a carton of cigarettes.
It was probably just for not beating the hell out of you. He doesn't look like he could fight. You know what I mean? He had a very punchable face.
Yeah.
Anyway, I always found the whole healthy thing of fast food to be kind of amusing because you at least I don't think health when I think of fast food. Like we talked about how we both, you know, think the best burger is at Burger King, right?
Sure.
There is not a single thing that I can think of in Burger King that I would associate towards health. Even their salads look
I didn't know they sold salads. Burger King.
Yeah, they have like the, well, I don't know if it's anymore, but back in the day, they had like one salad. And it was pathetic looking. The only good thing about their salads was their pickles for their salad were different than the pickles for their burgers, and their salad pickles are better. They were the garlic pickles that they have at Publix.
There are some fast food chains that do it okay. I think Wendy's might have some good salads from what I hear.
My mom used to like it was like an apricot
Yeah. I've heard of that.
Apricot pecan salad from Wendy's.
And I think Chick-fil-A does a good Southwest salad. Like you get a little bit of spice
Chick-fil-A.
and this and that. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I would say, what would you say is like the... Are you okay? I see that cord. Like it's like all wrapped around your leg.
I'm good.
Okay. What would you say is probably like the healthiest fast food restaurant nowadays? Would it be Chick-fil-A?
Probably would be.
I mean, it's the only place I can think about that you can go through a drive-thru and get a bowl of chicken noodle soup. Because Panera doesn't have a drive-thru.
Yeah, they do.
Paneras have drive-thrus?
Pretty sure.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I hate Panera, so. Panera to me...
not all of them, but yes, I have seen Panera.
Oh, I know not all of them. I know that part. Panera to me goes in that category. I got to like name the category of like the Five Guys, right? Where, yes, their food is like moderate. It's not gross by any means, but it's very small portions for a considerably medium to large price range.
Correct.
And nowhere near worth it. Now, back in the day when they did their bread bowls, one could argue that it was a fulfilling meal.
Yeah, I'll order one of 2 sandwiches there, and then that's it. And if they don't have the one I want, I will literally not eat there. I'll just drive somewhere else. Go somewhere else.
The one thing I will say is their Gouda and bacon mac and cheese.
It's Gouda. Yeah, it's very
is delicious. But if you go to one of the nicer neighborhoods that has a Publix, they have a Gouda mac and cheese in their deli that is phenomenal in comparison.
Interesting.
The one off New Broad Street.
Oh, really? Yeah, that makes sense. It's a fancy one.
Yeah, you have to go to the fancy one. So you're not getting this over like on our side of the world. You don't even get it over here on yours.
Publix, they have like the Publix cafes.
Yes.
A little seating area where you can like sit down and eat.
There's one out in Kissimmee that also has an exterior version of that. It's not like a separate door or anything, but outside there's like 4 tables with like nice umbrellas. Yeah. And I'm just like, where am I? Sometimes I find myself in like the weirdest Publixes because I'm almost like, oh, I need to run in and go like grab something to munch on really quick. The
floor plan switched from like what you're used to, and right.
When did they decide they were no longer going to have 2 bathrooms in Publixes? I feel like all the new footprints only have one, and it's never in the front anymore. It's always in the back. Because the way that it was when I grew up around here is that when you would first walk in, there'd be one up front, and then that second or third to the last aisle on the right, regardless of what aisle was what. If you went all the way down in the back by like the door, there would be another one. And nowadays, in any of the new floor plans, it's only the one in the back.
Yeah, I don't know.
Drives me insane. Well, I don't know why. Really does bother me though.
On our next episode, we're talking about bathrooms in public areas.
And where they should be versus where they are.
We're really not doing that.
At all. I don't want to get into a bathroom conversation.
Let's not. But you just did.
You know what I mean. But no, I thought that was a really weird time frame with fast food because, you know, that was the same time that everybody was required to start giving us nutritional facts.
Right.
I remember for a while, like Subway was the first one to do it, but like they had the nutritional facts on the napkins.
Oh, yeah.
And then other places started doing that, or they would start adding them to like the side of the fry container. Mm-hmm. It was really weird stuff. I was really young too, so it didn't really make a lot of sense to me.
They were required to do some of these things.
They were, because that was when the whole, the reason why
obesity
our kids
epidemic.
are overweight is because of McDonald's, when it's just like.
It's good parenting choices, maybe. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that the government doesn't force you to go to McDonald's.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I go to McDonald's. Like, I'm a little chubby. Okay. I get it. But like, I make that choice.
Sure.
I get up and go, you know what I don't feel like doing today? Grocery shopping and cooking.
It was the Super Size Me era around that. Remember when that dropped and that kicked off this whole other like...
That was like the second coming of that. And that's when it got like... I don't want to say better, but I will say I feel like there was more effort put into that.
And then what happened was COVID. And then McDonald's just...
Okay, hold up.
No, listen, I'm talking McDonald's specifically. They just decided, limited menu. Here's what we're doing now. Back to basics. All the salads, all that stuff, gone. Everything.
But
even breakfast stuff that I liked.
Let's do mention that between the supersized time frame and COVID was about 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we didn't, represent that as being like a Tuesday to a Wednesday
on the menu. Like it wasn't... You know what I mean? Like it started trending down.
Let's talk about COVID era changing fast food. I say that it changed it for the better because everywhere except for Arby's now has a very well made and executed app.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I agree.
That to me was worth the sacrifice of certain items being taken off because they everywhere lost items.
Yeah.
Anything
that's
that
conspiracy, by the way.
What?
The conspiracy that, with as COVID...
I really don't want to hear this. Go ahead.
being the linchpin to help change and transform how we do commerce due to technology. So people weren't willing to make that switch, and it's incredibly inefficient, but people didn't want to switch over to an app or want to switch over to different types of, they have to do something different now. They have to learn something new. All of a sudden, boom, now everyone knows what a QR code is. Now everyone knows like the menus at restaurants.
Grandma knows how to pull up a QR code. Yeah.
Yep. Apps for places that you would frequent, gyms maybe, fast food places, so on and so forth. They all had to switch. All of them switched to like an app-based system, technology, right? But it was the thing that you can blame. It was,
I'm literally crying.
Just saying. We're all just, it's
or just hypothetically
theoretically, yeah. I mean, it's what it is.
I don't know what planet you're from.
I don't know either.
Oh gosh.
But fitness was one of those industries.
It's very fair.
And
very fair.
And and then so was the restaurant industry. So yeah, but all of
Disney did the same thing too.
Disney everywhere.
Disney bent everybody over.
What does it take
COVID
to have consumers now switch over to a platform like that to completely deviate from what they were used to and what their lifestyle? They had to.
Right. Well,
it wasn't
like
a choice.
We were talking about before, where luckily you've still been in some of those McDonald's where they do both things. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I've been to I think 3 separate ones where I was going in because I had to do other crap.
Right.
But it was purely electronically done.
Yeah.
You could either download the app.
Right. We talked about self-checkout lanes for grocery stores
all
and for things. I'm telling you.
It's the normal now.
Yeah. And that conspiracy that I'm telling you about, I just made it up. But that's my theory. It's my conspiracy theory that I feel...
This is just a preview for when we eventually have our conspiracy theory podcast
where we actually look into them. But I really do think that there's something behind that a little bit greater. And it helps the workforce. All of a sudden we reset the workforce in such a way.
I do feel like it was a situation that a lot of companies took advantage of.
Yeah. I'm not saying they engineered it.
I thought you were trying to say that it was made in the back of a Quiznos.
They put COVID in your burgers.
What's COVID in your burger?
In your milkshakes. They got the White Castle too. No. But White Castle has fallen. But no, I do think yes, it was
I'm sorry.
An opportunity.
You're killing me tonight. I'm sorry. Oh, this is so great.
But it was just based on, they took advantage of the opportunity. They took advantage
of the opportunity, and they ran with a lot of things. And like I brought up Disney. I know this is totally off topic, but Disney did a lot of the stuff with their food apps as well, where the problem was the switch over, right?
Yeah.
And nobody wanted to, Monday it's like this, Tuesday it's like that. But when it's Monday, we're reopening, And when we do, everybody just has to deal with this. And it's now touchless or contactless. And that's the reason why we're doing it.
Fear-based
thing. It's utilizing the fear that the society had over X thing in order to swallow Y thing.
Think about all the R&D that went into some of these apps and these kiosks and all these things.
The money alone.
Right. But then people weren't using them before COVID, which they were already coming out with these things. Yeah. But now all of a sudden, boom, that's all their money's well spent now.
Well, also, they were then able to finally get rid of some of the personnel that was being replaced by the mechanical aspect.
Yes.
Which I'm still
not paying the benefits, not paying the salaries.
Before we jump right back, there's one more little thing on this tangent, is that, and I think I mentioned this today with the AI as well, but I'm 100% for getting rid of some of these low,
entry level jobs.
Thank you. Yeah. I don't want to insult the people that are doing it, because I don't think of it that way, where it's like, oh, they're doing such a simplistic thing, they should be doing better.
Yeah.
My thing is, they are wasting their potential because they're doing such a mind-numbingly simplistic task that could be done nowadays by a freaking smartphone, that if those jobs weren't available, they would then be able to just go to the next evolutionary step of like, oh, okay, I'm just going to use my brain half a little bit, because they have brains. Yeah. If you are allowed, as a lazy person, I'm going to do the least amount of work to get the amount of things that I need to get done.
Right.
So if you allow me to just lay in bed all day, I'm going to lay in bed. But if you take away that option, where now I have to walk all day, then I'm going to walk all day, because that's the least amount of work, because I don't want to run. You see what I'm saying? Like, why not help our society become better just by taking away the most mundane and like ridiculously simplistic jobs that no longer require humans to do?
Right. Well, COVID did a lot of that,
It did.
Or the company's response to COVID did a lot of that.
Consolidated a lot.
Right.
But they also over-consolidated, which is why they started treating their people even more like shit. But anyway, we're going to a whole nother freaking topic by that.
Well, now they don't even teach customer service. That's not even a thing.
They don't care about customer service anymore, because
no one wants.
Guess what? You're going to buy it here anyway. Shut up and get over it.
Right.
Anyhow.
Whole other thing. Anyway, fast food.
So the future of fast food. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is that we have no idea what it's going to be, but I do believe that more and more things are going to become fast food like.
Yeah.
Example. I think we're going to start seeing drive-thrus added to more styles of food that haven't typically been there as much.
Okay.
I think because of the delivery aspect of increasing, more places have realized, oh, wow, we can actually make that food pretty quick. And if they can deliver it, we could probably make it also quick enough where they could order it and then they pick it up. Well, if they can order it and then come in to pick it up, it'd be even easier if we had a drive-thru and then they could come and pick it up through the drive-thru.
Right.
Oh, well, then they might as well just go ahead and order through the drive. I think it's just going to be like a slow little escalation from that.
Yeah.
And I don't think that, I think I've said this for everything in the future, but 20 years from now, man, like 2040, I think the world is going to be insane, apparently, because I always say 20 years from now. So I'll put everything to 2043.
Yeah.
It's going to be what a year, man.
Well, because how technology continues to compound, right?
Yeah. It's exponentially greater every time.
Yeah.
It's insane. But I do think that we're going to have a turning point sometime between now and then where there is going to start being healthier options in fast food.
Okay.
But not from the same providers we currently have. McDonald's is never going to be a truly healthy option. But I do think we're going to start seeing restaurants that are successful enough that are healthy health style restaurants that are then going to be able to approach that fast food aspect.
Yeah.
All it's going to take is one startup to really hit it, and all it takes is one.
I'm
want to be
surprised.
decently successful, and then we're there.
I'm surprised there hasn't been kind of a reverting back to platforms where like you just drive up like a Sonic and people will just bring you your food to your car. You eat it in your car.
There is a restaurant
With COVID, it's like, that must have been
Boise,
great.
Idaho, called Rockies. And it was that style. It was one of those like drive-in diners where you
Come up to you with roller skates
yes,
and give you your
Had roller
food in the
skate.
tray. Yeah.
and they had the best pastrami sandwiches. Like, it makes 2J's look Christian, like that bad.
Wow.
In comparison, it was so amazingly good. They had the perfect amount of mustard on the thing, because it's the only time I ever liked sauce. And it's just
Interesting.
but I agree. I'm surprised we didn't get more of those now too, because like the A&W that was out there in Claremont, I think that one even closed.
Yeah.
Because it was such a niche type thing. Is it
You're right.
niche or niche? Niche, right?
If you're an ass, yeah.
Is niche the pretentious way to say it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, that's how you say
niche.
it. That's how you say it.
Well, yeah, obviously I'm going to be pretentious.
Yeah.
But no, I think that would have made more sense too, because a lot of people, yes, they want that. Thank you. I'm going to eat now while I'm driving 75 miles per hour with one finger. But if you gave them the option of I don't have to take the food, then finding parking spot and park and then eat. I'm already parked right here. I don't think there'd be an issue. I think that more people would continue to do it that way. I just don't think that the option is there.
I think the real estate's a problem too. You'd have to have a big enough parking lot.
That is true.
An
You have
area.
a larger footprint, which means you're going to have higher costs. Those awnings, obviously the maintaining of it, but then also the lighting, your electrical bill is going to be higher. Like all of that type of thing. The insurance and liability you'd probably have to have, because the fact you're having your employees walking to and from between traffic.
Yeah.
Like all of those things are 100% accurate. It would increase your overall.
Well, they're doing that anyway now when you're parking to the spots and they bring it out to your car though.
Yes
Like
and no.
mobile app deliveries and stuff.
I don't know how that would work though, because that's technically not part of the original plan. It's an additive thing, so I don't know if they got away with not having to increase the insurance on that.
I'm sure they have to. Maybe
It's
not
part
yet.
of the original model.
But it
they
takes
should
someone to
have
get hit by a car or get their foot run over, or someone
and we know that has
gets
already happened.
dragged into a van and then takes off, right? Or something like that. Like something crazy would have to happen, and then you hear it on the news, and then it's like, yeah, we don't let our employees out of the building anymore.
They actually, the McDonald's by me no longer will bring the food between the hours of 3 and 6 in the morning,
That makes sense.
which really annoys the hell out of me,
Oh,
because now I no longer go to McDonald's between 3 and 6 in the morning.
or to go to a different location.
Yeah, it's just,
You can move. I don't know. That's your concern.
yeah, but I like not having to pay $4 billion for rent.
Might be a red flag.
I live ghetto adjacent. Okay,
I know.
different.
It's funny.
To get all the benefits of living in the ghetto, like lower rent, but all the benefits of living in a place without gunshots. It's a lie. There's gunshots all the time.
It's the only place that I know that has gunshots and golf courses.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the weirdest thing. Yeah.
If you're really lucky, you get a hole in one and you pop a cap.
Oh boy.
But yeah, no, I do think the future is going to be a little bit more of a health based thing. I'm still surprised that Planet Smoothie and what's the other one?
Smoothie King.
Smoothie King, and there's no one that's jelly something.
Okay.
I don't know what that one is, but yeah, I'm surprised they don't have a lot drive-through ones that I've seen.
I think there are a couple.
Are there?
Yeah, Smoothie King's a drive-through.
Really?
Yeah, it's one in Claremont.
Claremont. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Claremont had so much room when they started building stuff out there that they were able to actually do things. Over here, you get 12 feet, and that's all you got.
Right.
But yeah, no, I do think that could be where we're heading, is having a little bit more of a health conscious option that is actually tasty.
Sure.
Because healthy food can taste really good. And then also there's just food that's not necessarily healthy food, but is better than your traditional fast food.
There's healthy, and then it's how it's sourced, and that was the thing that makes it healthy, which was the huge thing for a while here.
Well, then also there's the aspect of just how it's prepared. You don't have to deep fry everything.
Right.
It tastes better if you do, but you don't have to,
Right.
you know? So, but that was all I really had. Do you have anything to end up on with fast food or?
No, I mean, not really. Maybe this is odd to say, and it's more rare. But there's very few options for hot dog.
Oh,
Like
fast food nowadays.
There's a Sonic, which you can get like a chili dog, like you can get like some of the good stuff there.
Five Guys.
Right. But that's less known too.
Oh yeah, most people don't realize that. And also, depending on if you're a hot dog purist or not, they fillet their freaking dog.
Oh,
yeah. And some people I have found out that is not kosher.
Right.
Like they are not okay with that. And I'm like, what the cooks better and faster? What do you want, man?
I know.
Do you want a not well cooked hot dog like from a fast food place? Like what the heck's your problem?
Right.
But no, I agree. That's actually something that's actually not as prevalent. And same thing with corn dogs. You can get it from like a Sonic or like an A&W from back in the day.
Yeah.
And I like fresh corn dogs. Like
Yeah.
fresh corn dogs are pretty freaking good.
The variety of fast food is, you're somewhat limited, although there's some other options more recently. But yeah,
You're mostly getting burgers, fries, and then
there was a thing for a while for like
tacos.
fish sandwiches and stuff, like
filet of fish at McDonald's.
right, or like Captain D, like Long
Captain D's
Silver's
used to be legit when we were like younger.
Yeah.
And then I think we developed standards.
Yeah, Long John Silver's, which
Long John Silver's still exists. I was shocked.
it does.
I did not realize that.
Yeah.
I randomly saw one the other
I
day.
think it's like a front for something else.
Yeah, meth.
It has to be
Yeah,
something.
it's the only way it's still in
There's
business.
no way it's still
Those
in
hush
business.
puppies are not.
No one's selling
still-
that much fish.
No.
Who's eating fish?
Who? No. Just no.
But fast food, the last thing I'll say is kind of a somewhat definition of what fast food is, because we talked about this earlier before this, but fast food is a type of mass-produced food designed for commercial resale with a strong priority placed on speed of service as the emphasis, right?
It's not about quality or anything like that. It's
is
supposed to be in and out.
It's a commercial term limited to food sold in a restaurant or store with frozen, preheated, or pre-cooked ingredients and served in packaging for takeout or takeaway.
Yeah.
So emphasis on speed of service, not value or cost, even though they did break into that for a while in the past. But now, as we talked about kind of before when we were just talking about fast food a little bit, it's mostly geared towards speed of service. You can pay just as much at a fast food place as you would at a restaurant.
Yes.
Minus tip.
Minus tip, which sometimes
When you're going in the store, they ask you if you want to do the 10, 20, whatever percent. So they hit you up on those everywhere now.
I politely decline 9 times out of 10.
Depends where I go. Yeah.
Well, it depends on how, like, hey, if I'm going in to, like, let's just say a Starbucks, because I know they do it, and I order a coffee, and then you make the coffee. It's a very normal transactional situation. What can I get you? Can I get you a Venti Americano? Do you want room for cream sugar? No, thank you. Cool. What did you just do that was above the standard for you to get a tip?
Right. We're one of the main countries that do that. A lot of countries, you're not tipping.
That's
You're
the
not
other
doing
thing.
that. Yeah.
In other countries, it's usually insulting to give them a
Their
tip.
wages are higher. So this is the manipulation here is when they go to recruit people and they say, oh yeah, starting at this to this, they give like a range, or they're like 1570 or 1750, whatever it is for your hourly wage. That's factoring in the tips when you're going to these restaurants.
Why it's complete and total bull crap.
Yeah, it's manipulation.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
But here's my thing. I used to not be a good tipper. This has nothing to do with fast food, but I used to not be a good tipper because I still don't see the point in tipping. But if you do right by the table, I no longer have a problem with giving you like a decent tip.
Right.
And by decent, I mean like 35.
That's good.
Because if you keep my drink filled, which It is not easy.
Yeah, for you.
I'm a whale.
Yeah.
And I don't care if my food is messed up because I look at it as it's not the waiter or waitress's fault for my food getting messed up.
Sure.
But if you give me a convincing, I'm so sorry, let me take care of that, even if it is fake, I don't care.
Right.
I get it, man. Your life sucks. You're a fucking waiter or waitress. I get it. You probably just want to sit down and not deal with somebody else's wants for 10 minutes.
Right.
But if you fake it, yeah, I'll give you a good tip.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? And, you know, the fake courtesies, it's really important.
It's the job.
I'm always going to tip somebody good, male or female, if they do like the whole, like, I'm going to sit down with you guys. What are we getting? You know, like that.
Right.
I love that. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm a like that stereotypical like Chili's, Friendlies, Ruby Tuesdays type person.
Wow.
They're always. I know I just named like 4 places that are completely out of business now.
They're not out of business, but they're getting there. Yeah.
Ruby Tuesdays and Friendlies are very Chili's is still around pretty good though.
Yeah. Friendlies, there's a couple of them still exist.
Oh, they are? Yep. Oh, I haven't been to one in like 25 years. Mm-hmm. I knew there was that one that was out in Claremont. Mm-hmm. Letitia went there.
Oh, it's funny. There's a Friendlies in like iDrive area, I think it is.
Huh. Mm-hmm. Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know where that is.
Fridays too, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Friday. Yeah, TGI Fridays. Yeah, that one's still around, but Ruby Tuesdays.
There's like
that last one I remember.
Georgia, there was.
Yeah, the last one I remember around here was the one that was in West Oaks. Mm. Anyway, we really appreciate you listening to tonight's podcast about fast food.
Yeah.
We're going to just keep on going forever if we don't end it. So we really do appreciate you guys listening. If you want to go ahead and give us a review, if you're listening to us on any of the podcast versions like Spotify or Apple Music or anything like that, 5 stars is always appreciated. But hey, if you want to give us 1 star, maybe just don't do anything at all. But also comments are always really helpful with that. Let us know what else you'd like us to talk about. Currently, we do have on the schedule for next week, social media.
Social media.
What's up with that? But
we're not good at it. That's what's up.
Speaking of which, if you want to follow along with our day-to-day, become our friends. But you can also check us out on our Twitter at Venti_questions, where we haven't updated anything in months, or our Instagram at Venti Questions, where I think we don't have anything at all. Or you can check us out on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@VentiQuestions, which actually has a whole bunch of videos of not only the video versions of these podcasts, starting from season 2, but also we have some screen discussions on there with different movies we've been recently checking out. We do actually have some plans to start doing some reviews on some newer shows that are coming out as well. We'll do like a weekly thing on that. Mm-hmm. And then also we have something else I feel like on there. Oh, no, not yet. We have a couple of things that we're workshopping right now.
They're in development.
Hypothetically speaking. And
if you want to, voluntarily take over our social media and start running that, then for free, we're not going to pay you for it. You're not going to get anything for it. But if you just like doing that kind of thing, then yeah, feel free.
If you want to become our friend, yeah. We could maybe do like a once a month meetup where like we allow you to buy us food.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Be good. Could be fast food.
Yeah, it could be fast food. We have no problem with that. Yeah, maybe Chipotle. I don't know. But other than that, we really do appreciate it. Make sure if you are looking at any of our stuff on YouTube that, you know what? I don't even care if you like or subscribe. Just put a comment because we haven't gotten any comments in a while. And that would be interesting to get some different people's opinions on there. And I promise, 100% promise, if you put a comment on there, we will respond back to it probably pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So,
first person to leave a comment will get the shirt that's on Michael's torso right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I like this
that shirt. Nope. It's gone.
But I like this shirt.
Put a comment.
God. All right.
And in the next episode, he will not have a shirt on.
I mean, I'll do it, but you're not going to want to watch it. Anyway, we really appreciate you guys. And so we will see you next time.